Okay. See, guys, we have discussed about jobs in the previous class, right? So, if let's say you felt like someone asked like where we get the error messages, right? So I just told like you can see error message in the view history jobs, right? So there you can see the error message. But if you want to see for that, if you want to store anywhere in your table, so you have to check that option as well. So if any failure occurs, can we track that errors in a table or any file? So is there any option? So we'll discuss about that. So that concept we'll call it as a logging. So there is a concept called logging. So where we can log our events. That events may be on error, on pre-execute, on post-execute, right? So logging is nothing but tracking or handling, tracking a errors into a table or a text file, right? So we can log those errors into a text file. If any package failure occurs and this failure information we can track it in a table or text file. So how it is, see any package if you want to implement logging concept, so right click and you can see here logging on the control flow level, or if you can go to SSIS also you can see option logging here. So click on logging. So once you click on, you can see these are the available options, right? And here what are these tasks? So if any of these tasks, or if you want to choose all the tasks you can choose all, or if you want to implement logging for only few tasks you can choose only few, uncheck it or check it. By default it will check all the tasks here. Okay, so choose this all the tasks if you want to implement a logging. And then once you check a checkbox here, you can see here a provider types, right? So if you drop down it, you can see these are the available logging types. SSIS log provider for text files, SSIS log provider for SQL Server, SSIS log provider for SQL Server Profiler, Windows Event Log XML. So these are the few types of logging we have options in SSIS, but majorly we'll use log provider for text file and log provider for SQL Server. Okay, and we have to remember at least 2 to 3. And you can say in my project I have used SSIS log provider for text files and SSIS log provider for SQL Server, right? So, and what are these? We'll just learn now. So first, let me choose SSIS log provider for SQL Server. So if I select SSIS log provider SQL Server, and then you have to click on add, it will add a entry here, and then, and you can see details here, right? So these are the log events you can choose. If any event occurs, those event details will be tracked in the text file or SQL Server table. See here we have chosen SQL Server option, and if you select here any of the options, only those event options you can see it. See if I select all, it doesn't make sense. Why? Because if you select all, the number of entries in the table will be more. I'll show you why I am telling this. So choose only the events which is helpful for you. Maybe on error, right? On information, on pre-execute or post-execute, maybe after execution, what are the things which is retrieving, maybe on task failed or on warning. So these are the few major events which is useful in real time, right? So choose that, and then in the log providers, once you choose the log provider, once you click on add, so you have to click on the enable here, and this is just the description of the logging. And here in the configuration, it will ask, since you are using SQL Server, you have to choose the connection manager on which server, which database you want to implement this log table, right? So if I choose this one, then Lenovo PC server October 2021, my log table will be created. That log table is nothing but sys SSIS log. Sys SSIS log table will be created automatically if you use SQL Server logging, right? So as of now, can we refresh and check whether we have any such kind of table in the database? databases, expand October 2021, and then tables. Do you have any table called SSIS log here? No, right? Maybe under system tables, nothing. Under file tables, no, right? So there is no table with the name SSIS log. Now I have chosen all the options and I'll click on OK, right? So here we have implemented SQL Server logging. So I'll just save it. And if I execute a package, I'm executing the package. What are the events which we selected? On error, on warning, on post execute, and few other, right? On task failed. So it is successfully executed. So let me come out of the execution. And if I go to my database, let me refresh. Expand the tables. Can you see a table called SSIS log here? No, right? And let me expand system tables. Can you see now? So on the system tables, whatever the connection manager database you have chosen, on that a table will be created, right? So just check the data in it. Can you see here, whatever the events which you have selected, all the events are logged here. And on error on task failed event is not enabled here. Why? Because there is no failure in the package, right? So that is the reason why only package start, on post execute, package end. These are the default events for any package. It will pick it up, start, after start, and after end, right? So you can see at what time it started, what time it ended, and then what is the message. Okay, let's wantedly fail the package now. Let wantedly fail the task. Okay, maybe here I'll just remove the closing bracket. So it is a error message, right? So now if I execute, if any error occurs in the package, what the log table will be tracked, we'll see. It got failed, right? So let me come out of the execution mode and let me execute the log table again. Can you see an entry here? Table data will be appended every day. That is the reason why I have told you we should not choose more events, right? We have to choose only limited events. And can you see on error? And if you go to right side, see, this is the code it is saying error message. Copy it and then you can check it. What exactly it is throwing the error message. Right? So this is the error message it is written. Clear, guys? Clear. Select max of ID. Right? So for this purpose, we'll use the logging concept. If any error occurs, the logs will be tracked in the table. Until unless you truncate or delete the data in this table, it will be permanently saved in this table, all these records according to the date wise, right? So if you want to track any errors, how to handle errors in SSIS means you can just tell either by using logging, we can track the errors, or is there any other way, guys? How can we track the error messages? Can we use event handlers as well? If any error occurs, we can run the alternative method, either sending out an email or something else, executing alternative method. So either by event handlers or by logging mechanism, we can just track the errors or we can handle the errors in SSIS. Clear? So I'll repeat it. SSIS logging is nothing but whenever any event or any error occurs in the SSIS package. So if you want to log it in a table, we can just use SSIS log provider for SSIS log provider for SQL Server option. If you use that, by default, a table will be created with the name sys SSIS log in database, and that table will be having all those information, whatever the events which will occur. That event may be on error, on post execute, on task failed, right? And if we choose a text file logging, then let's see what happens. So right click and then again logging. As of now, I have SQL Server, right? So let me add text file as well. So here there is an option called text file, add it, and then choose. And if you want to add few more, you can add it. Otherwise, leave it, whatever the options which you have chosen. And then in the connection method, you have to choose the path, right? So this is my other connection manager. So for logging, I want to use a new connection. So click on new and browse the file where you want to save that log file. So I want to use it here. Maybe I'll just give the package name as SSIS logging. So there is no, you need to create a file here, right click and then create with the name SSIS logging. Okay, this file I'm going to give it here and then okay. See what I'm doing is I am creating one text file logging and the file name is SSIS log, and so the logging events will be stored in the text file, right? So let me click on OK, save it, and if I execute package, now the loggings will be done on both SQL Server and also the text file since I have added both the log providers. It executed, and if I go to that particular folder, I can see the logs SSIS, my first package, and here you can see it. See the logging information. The log file has been loaded with the data after execution of the package. So guys, which logging is user friendly for you? What you felt? Which one is better, text file or SQL Server?
SQL Server.
Yeah. So yeah, both the ways it is useful, but SQL Server, it will be stored in the form of rows and columns. It is easy for you to identify, right? And also you can query it directly on which day, what is error message, right? So yeah, that's what, either you can use SQL Server or text file, right? So other logging mechanism, you can say I did not use it, but at least you have to remember the logging types here, log providers. Okay. In interview, they might ask you like, what is SSIS logging or how many types of log provider available in SSIS, they'll ask. You have to say SSIS log provider for text files, SSIS log provider for a SQL Server, SSIS log provider for XML files. So something like that. At least 2 to 3 you should have to remember, right? Any questions on the logging? No? Okay. So now what I'm doing is I'm just gonna create a new package. Okay. And here I'll just drag 3 tasks. I'm creating a new connection manager, which is already existing connection manager name. And then here, each task I'll just write some plain SQL statements. And I'll tell you why I'm doing this. October 2021, I'll just use select 0. And then here in this task, I'll just use select 1. Here, let me use select 2. I think this is the syntax error. Okay, let it be. Okay, I'm just giving the precedent constraint here. So let's assume, right click and you can see annotation here. Add annotation means you can write your text. Okay. The first task took some 1 hour to execute. Okay. And then second task, add annotation. This is the just description, you can add it. And it took almost 2 hours. Assume. Okay. And then the third task ran for 30 minutes and failed. Assume. Okay. How many hours it took now? 1, 2, 3, and then 3.5 hours. Right. So it ran for 3.5 hours and it failed at third task. Right. So let's say if you execute package again, where it will start, guys? If you're executing through job or if it is through package, let's say I'm executing the package now. Assume my job took around 3.5 hours, to get it fail this task. First task took 1 hour, second task took 2 hours, and then third task took 30 minutes, and it got failed due to some issues, right? And if you try to restart again, if you try to execute again, so again the package will start from the first step, right? Again you need to wait for 3 more hours to get the execution this task, right? If you are running manually, you can say directly, okay, since it got failed, you can run only this task, right? If you're running through job, then if you don't have access to run package manually, then you have to wait for again 3.5 hours to get the execution completed this third task, right? So to avoid that, so there is an option called checkpoints. Here, this topic. The next topic is checkpoints. The definition is checkpoints are used to restart the package from the point of failure. Guys, please go on mute. Okay, so checkpoints are used to restart the package from the point of failure. So the definition itself says, if any package, any task fails, if we fix that issue, the package has to restart from the point of failed step. Again, it should not run from the starting, right? So now the task is failing, right? If I try to make it as a syntax, whatever the issues I have made it here, I corrected. And if I execute the package, again, the package will start from the first step, right? But using checkpoints, what happens, whatever the task which failed, only that task will get executed if you restart the package, right? So that's the purpose of checkpoints. So we'll see. I'll make it again the syntax wrong. We'll get it failed. So before that, we need to enable the checkpoints, guys. The checkpoints is a control flow property. Click on anywhere in the control flow and then go to properties. You can see here checkpoint. All right. So you have 3 options: checkpoint file name, checkpoint usage, and then save checkpoints. Okay, I repeat it: checkpoint file name, checkpoint usage, and then save checkpoints. Right. So checkpoint file name is you need to create one file for the checkpoint. So create it, and we are going to create, maybe the name I'll use it as SSIS checkpoints. Okay, I have mentioned that path. As of now, we don't have any file called SSIS checkpoint here. This is the path I mentioned over there. We don't have any file with the name SSIS checkpoint, right? But let's see. And here checkpoint usage, by default it is never, which means it doesn't use any checkpoints. And we have 2 more options: if exist and then always, right? So if exist means if checkpoint is already existing for this package, use that. Otherwise create new. Always means always use the existing. If the checkpoint file name is not there, it will not create. It will try to use the existing checkpoint. So it will look for the existing checkpoint, but if checkpoint is not there, it will not store it. So always try to use if exist. If exist option means if checkpoint is already there, it will utilize it, or else it will create a new file. That is what if exist means. Okay. And then here save checkpoints is, by default it is false. You have to make it to true. Then only the checkpoints will be saved. Right? You need to set 3 points. The first point is checkpoint file name. The second option is checkpoint usage, and third option is save checkpoints. Checkpoint file name is the where you want to save the file about the package details, and that path you need to browse and you have to give the file name. And then checkpoint usage, by default it will be never, which means it doesn't use any checkpoint option. And if exist means if checkpoint is available for this package, use that. Otherwise, if it is not there, create the new one. Always means it will always try to look for the existing checkpoint file. If it is not there, it will not create. It doesn't have ability to create it. Or I think it is always it will create a new file. Sorry, am I wrong? So always is nothing but it will always create a new file. Okay, that is what the always means. If exist, it can do both. If it is available, it will utilize the existing one. If it is not available, it will create the new one. So that is the reason why use if exist option, and then there is an option called save checkpoints. The by default it will be false. You have to make it to true so that the checkpoints will be saved, right? So save it, and now let me execute the package by click and execute. The package got failed, and let's check whether any checkpoint file created here. No, right? There is no file name called SSIS checkpoints, right? So it is not created. Why? So we need to set one more property. Fail on task fail, some property is there. So you need to set it for each task. So click on the task and go to properties, and you can see here fail package and failure, which means if any task fails, fail the package. By default, it is false. We should make it to true for each and every task if you want to use the checkpoints. Remember this property, guys. Fail package and failure. You have to make it to true for each and every task in the package. Fail package and failure to true, and then fail package and failure to true. For all the three tasks, I have enabled it. Now, after enabling, let me execute the package. Execute package. It got failed. So now let's check it in that folder. Can you see here? What is the file name which I had given? SSIS checkpoint, or wait, forgot what is the name I had given. Yeah, SSIS checkpoint, I guess. Yes, SSIS checkpoint. So let's check it whether the file is created here or not. Can you see the file has been created? Right click and open it. It is asking, see, this is the checkpoint file details. We didn't understand this. This is a system default XML code, XMLNS, right? This is XML code, and this is the system information. We doesn't understand that, right? But the checkpoint file has been created, right? So now what I told the definition, if you have a checkpoints, if you resolve the issue, if you restart the package, it has to restart from the point of failure. So now the failure, I'm correcting it, the package failed task. And if I execute the package, it should run from this task instead of from the first task. Let's observe that. Right click and execute package. Can you see? The execution has started only the third task. Clear, guys? So that is what the checkpoints will do. It will save the checkpoints because of the options which we have chosen here, save checkpoints, and that save checkpoint file is this one. Based on this checkpoint, that package will get executed. See, after successful execution, the file automatically deleted. So the checkpoint will be created only after the package failure. And once the package successfully executes, the checkpoint file will be deleted. And again, if any error occurs for the package, again it will create. I'll show you that one as well. So after successful execution, the file got deleted, right? So now we'll make it fail again. We'll see whether checkpoint created or not. The package got failed. Can you see? Checkpoint file is there now. And once after you execute package successfully, again it will go off. Right click and then execute package. Run successfully. See, we don't have the SSIS checkpoint file. Clear, guys? Any questions on the checkpoints? It's a simple definition. Checkpoints are used to restart the package from the point of failure. If let's say you have a 3 tasks within the package, and first task ran for 1 hour, second task ran for 1 more or 2 more hours, and while running the third task, the package got failed. Usually, if you rectify the error and if you restart the package will start from the first task onwards. But if you enable the checkpoints by setting the options called checkpoint file name, checkpoint usage, and save checkpoints, the package will restart from the point of failure, which is third task in our scenario, right? The same way you need to explain, guys, with example. So like I told you the definition now. So try to note it down on the paper or in your book or WordPad, whatever it is, or document. So try to tell the interviewer same answer, right? So that they'll get to know you have some hands-on experience with it. Any questions? See, these are the simple only, but in interview, these are the major things. Okay. And we have left over these two topics for tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow I'm gonna teach these two topics. And then from day after we'll start SS RS. Okay. Any questions, guys? If not, so try to prepare well. And by next Sunday, we'll complete training. Okay. And yeah, if you have any references, try to refer guys. Maybe I'll start the new batch next week. I thought to start it today, but I did not start it since it will be hectic for me to run the training parallelly. Right. Meanwhile, if you have any references, you can give my number to them, ask them to message me on WhatsApp. Okay. And yeah. And all the best, guys. So try to prepare well. If you have any questions, please do message me on WhatsApp. I'll reply at my free time. Okay. Any other questions? Concerns? And if you doesn't have SQL Server agent, so try to check in Google and then get it done. Okay.
Amar, at the last of our training, is there any practical oriented training, project oriented training?
No, project oriented training, I don't think so, but I'll give you overall task which will cover all SQL, SSIS, and SSRS. Maybe if you can finish that,
Okay.
you'll get the hands-on experience. Maybe since you asked, maybe I can give you one scenario, guys, for all of you. Right? Since we have time, I'll explain you one scenario. Maybe you can try it. See, I'll open one Excel file. Yeah. See, as of now, we have discussed about loading data in a single sheet, right? Correct? Single sheet or multiple files. But let's say assume we have data in multiple sheets like this: sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3. How can we load all these 3 sheets data into a SQL table using SSIS? Maybe you can try to achieve it. You can refer YouTube videos, or maybe you can refer blogs in Google. You can refer these blogs how to achieve this requirement and try to achieve it, guys. This is your assignment. And yeah, you can refer, you can take the help of internet and then try to achieve it. It is easy only, but try it. So take 3 sheets or 2 sheets also fine. 2 or more, anything, it will be same process. And then try to load all 2 sheets data into a table. I explained you for multiple files. I did not explain you for sheets, right? So try to achieve this one using SSIS. So maybe the basic idea, what do you think? By using what we can achieve this scenario, guys? Any basic thought you have?
Simply, we need to select the sheet number or sheet name.
Only we can select only one sheet at a time, right?
So once after one, is it not possible?
Once after one, if let's say 10 is there, you need to do 10 times.
Maybe there is some shortcut, I think.
Maybe. Okay. At least you would have told, like, for each loop container we can use it. No one told that.
Right? We have that option also.
We have only that option, which is faster one. See, we cannot create, if let's say you have 10 sheets tomorrow, we cannot do 10 sources and then 10 destinations, right? Correct? I have expected at least one of you will tell for each loop container, but no one answered that, right? So using for each loop container, we can do that. Maybe the different collection here, the enumerator. not the for each file. It will be item or EDO. So try to check it in internet and try to achieve that, guys. Okay. So that is your task. And yeah, maybe after SSRS completion, I'll give you the overall course task, creating a basic tables and then SS SQL Server procedure, SSIS package along with the report as well. Okay. Try to prepare well, and yeah, let me know if you have any concerns. Okay. And tomorrow the class will be at 6:30 only evening. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for joining. We'll connect tomorrow.